In a time of great darkness for Israel, the nation groaned under Philistine oppression that had lasted 40 years. In the small town of Zorah, a man named Manoah from the tribe of Dan lived with his barren wife. They had no children, until one day, everything changed. An angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife and delivered a divine message: though you are barren, you will conceive and give birth to a son. But be careful, not to drink wine, touch anything unclean, or cut the boy's hair. He will be a Nazirite, set apart for God from the womb. He will begin to rescue Israel from the Philistines. Amazed, the woman ran to tell her husband. Manoah, humbled and uncertain, prayed for guidance. God answered, and the angel returned. When Manoah asked how they should raise the child, the angel repeated the sacred instructions: the boy must be set apart, holy from birth. Soon, the prophecy was fulfilled. A son was born, and they named him Samson. As the boy grew, God blessed him. The Spirit of the Lord began to stir in him while he lived in the region between Zorah and Eshtaol. As a young man, Samson went to Timnah, where he saw a Philistine woman. Drawn to her, he told his parents, "Get her for me. I want to marry her." His parents were dismayed. "Why a Philistine? Aren't there women among our people?" But Samson insisted. Unbeknownst to them, this desire was part of God's plan to confront the Philistines. On his way to Timnah, Samson was attacked by a lion. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him powerfully, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. He told no one. Later, passing the carcass, he found bees and honey inside. He ate some and gave some to his parents, again telling them nothing. At his wedding feast, Samson posed a riddle to the 30 Philistine guests. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. If they could solve it within 7 days, he'd give them 30 fine garments. If not, they'd owe him instead. Unable to solve it, the men threatened his new bride. "Get the answer, or we'll burn your family's house down." Under pressure, she wept until Samson gave in. She told the men, and they answered correctly. Enraged, Samson said, "If you hadn't plowed with my heifer, you wouldn't have solved my riddle." The Spirit of the Lord came upon him again, and he struck down 30 men in Ashkelon to settle the bet. Burning with anger, he returned to his father's house, only to discover his wife had been given to another man. Later, during the wheat harvest, Samson returned with a gift, only to be told by his father-in-law that his wife had been given away. Offered her younger sister instead. He caught 300 foxes, tied them in pairs, fastened torches to their tails, and let them loose in the Philistines' grain fields. Their harvest, vineyards, and olive groves went up in flames. In retaliation, the Philistines burned his wife and her father alive. In return, Samson slaughtered many Philistines before retreating to a cave. The Philistines came to Judah looking for him. Fearing for themselves, 3,000 men of Judah went to capture Samson. He agreed to go, on one condition: "Swear you won't kill me yourselves." They bound him with new ropes, but as they delivered him to the Philistines, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. The ropes fell from his hands like charred flax. Grabbing a donkey's jawbone, Samson struck down 1,000 men. Panting, exhausted, and near death, he cried out to God. "You've given me this victory, will I now die of thirst?" God opened a spring, and Samson was revived. Later, Samson fell in love with Delilah, a woman from the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers bribed her, find out the secret of his strength. She begged Samson to reveal the source of his power. 3 times he deceived her, and 3 times she tried to trap him. But at last, worn down by her constant nagging, Samson revealed the truth. "No razor has ever touched my head. If it is shaved, I will be as weak as any man." Delilah lulled him to sleep and shaved off his hair. His strength vanished. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and imprisoned him in Gaza. Time passed. Samson's hair began to grow. One day, the Philistines held a great celebration, giving thanks to their god Dagon for delivering Samson into their hands. They brought him out to entertain the crowd. Blind and humiliated, Samson asked the servant leading him to place his hands on the temple's supporting pillars. Then he prayed, "Lord, remember me. Strengthen me just once more so I may avenge my eyes." He braced himself and pushed with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing everyone inside, including Samson. He brought more death in his final act than in his entire life. His family retrieved his body and buried him in his father Manoah's tomb. Samson had led Israel for 20 years. Samson's story is not one of perfection. It is one of power, purpose, and the constant pull between divine calling and human weakness. He reminds us that even the flawed can fulfill God's plan, and that redemption can come even at the end.